And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It's 6:30 this morning as we all rise and shine and face today. Today's Tuesday. Right now 74 as we wait for a high of, believe it or not, 94. Heat index to reach 100. Now, yet again, we've got a 40% chance of afternoon showers, and that did happen yesterday in downtown Meridian. And we got close to an inch of rain quickly. And yet again, there near Chick-fil-A, if y'all watched all that, it was a lot of water there in that parking lot. Always be careful. That rain chance rolls into the forecast this afternoon, a little after 2 o'clock, I believe. So something to keep in mind. It's not a big chance, but always the chance of it. The northern portion of Lauderdale County didn't get any of that. It was a barely sprinkle out in West Lauderdale in comparison to what happened in downtown Meridian. So how do you feel today? Well, we certainly hope you're feeling better. And as we face, what is today? July the 8th. July 4th has already rolled through. What is it, September for our next holiday? I believe so.
Yeah.
My, oh my, next thing we'll be talking about the C word again. Because, well, of course, you know it is Christmas in July on Hallmark Channel, according to Greg.
That's where he's at right now.
We'll be right back. Let's go get a good word. Let's go to Collinsville and get our message of the day.
I want to give you the names of two women from the book of Philippians you may never have heard before. Euodia, spelled E-U-O-D-I-A, and Syntyche, spelled S-Y-N-T-Y-C-H-E. I doubt any of you out there bestowed these traditional names on your daughters. But listen, we don't know much about Euodia and Syntyche, but we do know one thing. They were not happy with each other. We know this because the Apostle Paul, inspired by the Holy Spirit, addressed these two in his letter to the Philippians. Here's what he has to say in Philippians 4, 2, and 3. I urge Euodia and I urge Syntyche to agree in the Lord. Yes, I also ask you, true partner, to help these women who have contended for the gospel at my side, along with Clement and the rest of my co-workers whose names are in the book of life. So what's going on here? In short, these two women are arguing about something, and Paul is pleading that they put aside their differences. Whatever the issue is, we can assume that it's not a matter of heresy, because Paul refers to them as contenders for the gospel and co-workers whose names are in the book of life. These women are true followers of Jesus. Now, we could assume that they're disagreeing on secondary doctrines that do not compromise true Christianity, or could just be another personal matter entirely. But whatever the issue is, Paul is urging for there to be an end to the harsh disagreement. We don't have to agree on everything, but brothers and sisters, we are effective with the gospel when we are united with one another. Now, we can civilly debate certain issues, but it shouldn't bring us to hatred. When we set aside our differences, or even just agree to disagree, we can join together under the flag of the gospel of Jesus Christ and reach a world that is dying together. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. We'd like to welcome WMOX Radio joining in the broadcast this morning also. Well, as I see, Rick has got his arithmetic going today, 170 days till Christmas. It's closer than you think. As Shannon pointed out, I didn't realize 22 years ago today was the shooting at Lockheed. Y'all remember that, don't you? Seems as though it was yesterday that came to our small town. As we turn to headlines shaping America, I didn't know this had happened in California. It doesn't happen here, and let's hope this doesn't spread because, well, it's taxpayers' dollars. California has made it legal to use EBT cards at fast food restaurants, such as McDonald's and things of that nature. Doesn't happen anywhere but California. Oh, my. L.A. saying they need immediate help with construction, landscaping, because workers aren't showing up. Illegals have just stopped coming to work because they're scared. Sounds like the American worker may have to actually do something now to earn his paycheck. Get to it. California also will not seek to block trans athletes from school events, defying what the White House has put out. That's a shame. California is such a beautiful place and things like this to happen. Buc-ee's. Boy, that's expanding all over the world as we look at these different things that are happening here. It's set to open in several different states. Of course, we saw the first one in Mississippi just a few weeks ago. Georgia is getting one. And as I go down this list, it's just growing with leaps and bounds. Tennessee, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Kansas City getting one also. Get out of here. San Marcos, Texas will be getting a new one. Oak Grove City, Kentucky. The list just goes on and on. This place comes with like 120 gas pumps. It's like it's a little city within it. Now, with that being a good thing, always keep in mind the small guy usually goes away. What was that song Alan had, Small Town Southern Man? It all kind of goes away. It boards up the little town. I saw this morning. This is one of those that caught my eye. Not only is the United States a place that wants people that move here, well, to be what they say they are. Here's a post. This was from, let me see who this was from. Theo Wold is who he was, and this is what he posted. This was from Mexico. Pay taxes, learn Spanish, respect my culture. Well, they have the same beliefs the U.S. does when you get down to it. What else do we have? Oh, this one, I'd forgotten all about this guy. Do y'all remember Jesse Jackson Jr.? I'd forgotten about him. He served in the House for like 17 years, and well, then he went to jail for 2 years. His health is better, and he said he's ready to run again. Are you ready to elect him? In the headlines this morning anyway. Now, I remember when I had my heart attack, I remember the doctor setting me down and saying, you've got to go talk to these people down the hall. They're going to tell you, you can't eat this, you can't do this, and you can't do that. And he said, let me explain this to you. He said, it changes every day. We're going to tell you something's good today and tell you it's bad tomorrow. He said, just don't overindulge. Don't overeat. Watch what you do. And he said, I think you'll be okay. New study out today says that, well, coffee is great for you. Now, I've heard this bad for you. They're really pushing it this week. If that's the case, me and Odie might live to be forever.
That's what we're working on.
I'm not sure I want that. I watched The Green Mile. Did y'all see that? That really put it into perspective there at the end when he had buried all his friends and he was still there. I'm not sure I want to be that one guy left. There comes a time for us all to go back to those gates of heaven, and, well, I'm ready whenever that time is. The car of the future, Cadillac says it wants to do it. What they're calling these self-driving cars, they'll have massages in the seats as you drive.
We better be self-driving. I'll go to sleep.
It'll make hotel reservations for you and do lots of things. But see, we already have that, and they just overlooked it. It's called a chauffeur. The guy that gets the gate for you when you pull up. Get out and get that gate.
And that's creating jobs.
Yeah, that is creating a job. So Cadillac aiming to be the first to do this. Again, I still go to Cadillac's really lost its luster. Everything used to be compared to, you heard it all your life. Well, that's the Cadillac of that. You don't hear that anymore. You know why? Well, they just aren't what they used to be. What happened to the fins and quality made in America? It slipped away. Trump has signed a memo freezing federal hiring. That's the way it is for a little while there. That happens from time to time with each administration, usually. Here's some bad news for a guy that could be in deep trouble as we start looking at all of this. If you will remember, let's go back and look at this. John Brennan, do y'all remember this? In 2016, he brought forth that dossier. Do y'all remember all that? Said it was the truth. They've done some investigating, and, well, charges could be coming for using something that was fake. Headlines are saying that it's a lot worse than the original CIA memo about it. Also, let's just go ahead and throw this out there. We brought it up yesterday. Was it Pam Bondi? And y'all have to forgive me. I forget which public official said they had the list on their desk of Epstein, of who was on the list. I mean, it was on my desk. I'm going to release it. This week we find out there is no list. And that, well, the cameras showed everything. I do remember a time when the cameras blinked and they went off. Anybody remember that? What I'm getting at is don't believe everything you're told. Use your smarts, investigate things. There's something fishy here, and I do believe that. Now, this will rattle your cage. I've heard it all my life, and it's not supposed to happen from the pulpit. But the IRS is backing up. Now, I haven't seen it written yet, but it's coming. The IRS is saying churches can't endorse candidates from the pulpit. Say what? Well, y'all all know as well as I do that's been going on for years anyway. Just nothing has been done about it. But they're saying that now, well, it's okay to do it. The agency said that if a house of worship endorsed a candidate to its congregation, the IRS would view that not as a campaigning, but as a private matter, like a family discussion concerning candidates. Y'all believe that? That's just the way it's always been, to where you would get the tax break. You couldn't talk about political candidates. Are we opening up a can of worms here? Now, again, let's go back to the real truth is we know it's been going on in some churches for years upon years. They didn't hide it, but, well, it looks like there's been a lawsuit, and they're trying to clarify everything. You ever notice how football players tend to stay in trouble? Anybody notice that? We go back to the Cowboys again, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce his name. Kevontae Turpin?
Yeah.
Did I say that pretty closely?
Well, that's what I would say.
We're close on that. He's been arrested on marijuana and weapon charges. Just an upright citizen there. Out for a Sunday drive, I guess. Really, this is kind of common. What happened to those in the spotlight being, well, examples for kids? I'm afraid those days might be gone. What was that song? We need a hero?
Yeah.
A shining light? And we do. We do. Trump in the news today saying that he's going to send weapons to Ukraine to help out. He's not cutting them off. He is going to help them out. Kelly Clarkson. Now, again, I only know her from seeing her on some show that really wasn't that good, her talk show host. It was kind of boring. I watched it once, about 3 minutes, and thought, I got to go. And she was a judge at some point on one of these, what show is it?
The Voice.
The Voice, she was on there. And she did win one of them. I forget which one. She's a mega star, but she's having to postpone her Las Vegas residency. Kind of like the Elvis thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Well, her voice is in critical condition after practicing and practicing. She's going to have to wait a little while. They hadn't said how long that's going to be. Kind of defeated her purpose there. Yeah, okay. You just have to check there. What kind of sicko does this? And I use the word sicko because I can't think of a better word for it. But a guy killed his father and then posted it online for the world to view. I won't go into how he did it. It was gruesome, sickening, and if we had better laws and quicker responses to courts, it'd be a lot less of this happening in America. My 2 cents for what it's worth on that. Japan, South Korea have a 25% tariff starting August 1. Now keep in mind, everything is negotiable. That's what's been put out. We'll see what becomes of that. There's been other great things that led to U.S. making more money off of this. It's a lot of money been made off this tariff thing of renegotiating it. A lot of people scared you. That's what they're there for. Make you panic. Make you sell something. Think you're going to have to buy more now. Just hold off. Sit back and watch. See what happens there. Do you remember the guy that... and they basically told us about 2 weeks ago they were pretty sure that he was deceased. The guy that was accused of killing his 3 daughters. Do y'all remember that? Well, they said, well, there's no proof that he's still alive. Well, up until this week, when somebody said, I think I saw him in a campground. They are searching again. Idaho is where they think he might be. I've heard this name. I couldn't identify one single thing they've played. And you have to be honest when you're talking to people. But a group named Pearl Jam, anybody ever heard of them? I have no clue what they sing. I honestly, the first time I heard the name, well, never mind, I'm not going to tell you what I thought. My wife will make fun of me. But the drummer is leaving after 27 years. It's a long time. You know any songs they've sang?
Yeah.
Pearl Jam, what was the name of it?
Now, you know,
See, he can't do it.
Songs, but I like Pearl.
Y'all know any songs over there? It'd be tough.
You've heard of a few of them. You just don't know.
I'm pretty sure I hadn't heard any, Odie. That I am that type that probably, like when you watch Super Bowl halftime and you go, what in the world is the world coming to after watching that? Yeah, I do that most every time because I need a translator to watch that stuff.
I'll play some for you.
Yeah, you can't play that. That breaks rules there.
Not on here.
This is Brad Paisley saying about it. Every now and then there's somebody you'd like to check for ticks, unless you're going to the ER. They say there is a huge uptick in the U.S. of tick bites this year, and it's affecting the elderly and the young ones a lot. Anybody ever gotten to any sea ticks before? Ooh, that's not good. Is the remedy, what was it, you used to put a little bleach in the water and then take a bath, and that would usually make them not want to be around you anymore? But that's miserable. But they say there's a huge uptick of this. If you're going out into the woods, make sure to spray down with
Get some
off.
guineas in your yard with some chickens. They'll eat all the ticks.
I don't know where Odie comes up with these ideas, but
You've never heard of that? Opossums do too.
yeah. Y'all just sit back and listen to Odie and Home Remedies over there. Boy, they are really upset in L.A. Troops showed up and they started getting out with armor, headed that little park down there, and there was nothing that the mayor could do in L.A. Now, they didn't arrest that many because probably they'd gotten a tip-off that, the feds were coming. But they showed up in full force yesterday. They made a few arrests, but nothing humongous there. The last toll that we have been counted upon this morning that I've seen is 104 souls lost in Texas. It doesn't get any more sadder than this. Do y'all know the singer Pat Green, Wave on Wave? He had one country hit. He's the guy that walked around without shoes for the longest in country music. They say his brother and children are missing in this. Not good. I have seen other people also searching. It's awful there. The faces, what I'm told, of the little girls that were at that camp are the ones that survived as they returned the kids that were alive to the parents, and you could see the faces on the parents that knew that their children were not alive. It's devastating.
A girl that was saved by a helicopter.
Yeah, we did have somebody local that was saved. That's good. Pray for Texas. This is a serious matter. Now, there's lots of blaming as people try to blame the National Weather Service, but there's a such thing as Mother Nature, and it sometimes has a different plan. This is not someone's fault. It's just awful. It's a tragedy, what they call an act of God when a tragedy occurs. We need prayer. Do we understand these things? We don't. I don't know that we ever will, but it's a horrible situation there. Did the sirens go off? I don't think they had sirens there. Sirens are becoming a thing of the past as we move forward in technology. As this develops, we'll find out more about it. Let's see what else we have this morning that is occurring across this. Netanyahu. He's also nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. That's about the fourth person that's nominated him. There's a good chance he'll get it. That will drive critics up the wall should he receive that. They will not like that at all. We had a family of 4 that lost their lives in a plane crash in North Carolina. That's bad. Small plane crash. And again, just because you can own one doesn't mean that you can operate one. Let me remind you of that. It's like having a Corvette. Not everybody can handle that. That's a lot of power. Just keep that in mind. What else we got? Oh, here's something that you're going to like. TSA. You know, when you go through the airport and they wand you and make you take your shoes off, and then you try to get the shoe on, and then you trip and fall over several aisles. Oh, y'all know that's happened. I was with a guy some 10 years ago that happened, and he knocked down 8 people. He was a big old boy trying to get his boot on, and he done the hop. Then he lost his balance. They're going to stop making you take your shoes off. Tells me they've come up with a scanner that'll scan your shoes without having to take it off, or they just got tired of that smell. We're not sure which it was. But that's the latest with the TSA thing. You aren't really treated the nicest through there, are you? And whatever you do, don't speak to them, because that usually means you go to that extra line. If you go, hey, how are you doing today? And they think, well, that's odd. Let me check him out. Just food for thought there. Do you remember the judge that helped the illegal alien escape? She's had lawyers fighting this, trying to say that, well, she shouldn't be charged. Ruh-roh, she's going to be charged, and it will continue. A few of the things happening this morning. Stay close with us. We'll be right back with your weather forecast as we start your day.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, at docstoyota.com or on Facebook, and remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
LaWanda asked a good question on this. I know the answer to this, but I may not word it exactly right. What is this gold star on your driver's license? It means you're TSA approved, doesn't that?
No, it just means that you have a real ID.
Oh yeah, it's the real ID system that they put on all driver's license. It'll save you time when you go through these TSA things. It is a real one there. That's what that means there.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
As we get into our forecast, back in 1902, it was still warm today, 102. As we go back to 72, our lowest record of the day at 60. As we go to the National Weather Service, they still hadn't found that person that does this overnight. Look at that, a blank forecast for today. We go to Alabama, they were up early. They let us know that Alabama is going to be 92 in Demopolis. As we get near Birmingham, still a steady 92, but warmer in Tuscaloosa at 95. Montgomery still falls under 95 as well. As we look at this heat stress for the week, it's going to be warm here. Keep that in mind as we look across here. And again, this is creeping up now, taking in the Meridian area, nearing Kemper County and, well, northward there. Warmer temperatures for us as we look at this. Only West Texas has got a cool spot. As we look at the 7-day forecast, 40% chance of showers today. Again, 94 for a high with a heat index of about 100. Chance of showers after 2 o'clock. The low tonight, 72. Will roll into Wednesday, that midweek, with a high of 93, but increasing to a 60% chance of showers. Thursday and Friday, look at that, 70% chance. Are we back in April again? We got rain chances all the way through next Monday. Let's go another 7 days and look at this. What do we have? Well, yep, still chances of rain all the way through the 22nd. Each day has something. This is a wet July for sure there, as we'll have highs in the 90s. Don't forget the Choctaw Indian Fair beginning, and before long we'll be moving into the Neshoba County Fair. As we go to our fishing forecast, we go to Clarkdale Super Red. It looks as though the wind's going to be calm, becoming southwest around 5 this afternoon. Major times to fish will be around 10 o'clock this morning till about 12 noon. As we'll see here, not bad there. Next major times after dark, but you've got a slight chance of good fishing for about an hour between 6 and 7:15 this afternoon. So right at dusk dark, it'll be kind of good there. Sunrise happened at 5:55 this morning as we see it through the windows, and sunset will happen around 8:04 this afternoon. Let's go take a quick look at radar and see what we've got this morning as we had a live radar to see what is happening across. As we pull it up, we see that nothing happening in Mississippi. A few showers out to our west there, southwest around Beaumont, just east of there, moving toward Lafayette, Louisiana. Look out. We got a few showers there around Fort Smith, Arkansas. And as always, a lot of fog up around Chattanooga, Asheville, North Carolina. Knoxville has got a little bit. And the further north you go into Paducah, those areas there around Bowling Green, Evansville, Indiana, getting fog this morning. Even Gadsden has a little bit. But boy, look at Mississippi. It's shaping up good. Now, as we go over to take a look at this, we are starting to show that this is starting to go back out into the water as we look at Tropical Storm Chantel. It's a tropical depression moving along at 23 miles an hour. Gusts are at 35 miles an hour this morning. That pressure at 1011 millibars moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. So a quick look at what we've got with weather there. And again, that's moving off to the coast. It should be getting away from the U.S. of A. All right, we're going to be back live in just a couple of 3-4 minutes from now as we'll get the morning show underway. Again, a big thank you to WMOX Radio joining us this morning for the broadcast. We'll have all things local coming up at 7. Y'all ready for that? We'll find out what happened yesterday. Some tragedy to the area as well. We'll tell you all about that at the top of the hour. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in just a moment.